These marks in the rock at Bexhill Beach are dinosaur footprints from around 135 million years ago. Today, this is the Sussex coast, waves, tide and shingle beaches. But when these tracks were made, this wasn't coastline at all. During the Early Cretaceous period, this area was a broad river floodplain. Slow rivers wound through muddy banks, with lagoons, vegetation, and dense forests of ferns and conifers. Dinosaurs walked across the wet sediment, leaving footprints in the mud, exactly like animals do today. One of the most common questions people ask is, what kind of dinosaur made these tracks? It's difficult to identify the exact species from a footprint alone, but the three-toed shape suggests they were likely made by an ornithopod dinosaur, a group that includes animals like Iguanodon, which lived in this region during the Early Cretaceous. These animals were large plant-eating dinosaurs, walking across riverbanks, exactly where this footprint was found. Another thing that often causes confusion is why some footprints appear raised, while others are sunken into the rock. The sunken ones are true footprint impressions. The actual depressions left when the dinosaur stepped into soft mud, but the raised ones are something different. Those are called natural casts. After the footprint was made, it filled with sand and sediment. Over time, that sediment hardened into rock. Then, millions of years later, the surrounding rock eroded away, leaving the filled footprint standing proud of the surface. So what looks like a raised footprint is actually the inside of the original track. But that raises another question people often ask. If these footprints are over 100 million years old, why haven't they eroded away already? The answer is that for almost all of that time, they were buried. The footprints were quickly covered by layers of sediment, which protected them deep within the rock. Only recently has coastal erosion exposed this ancient surface again. Along the Sussex coast, the sea slowly cuts into the rock layers, revealing surfaces that haven't seen daylight for millions of years. And sometimes, those surfaces contain dinosaur tracks. The rocks here belong to something called the Wealden Group. These are sedimentary rocks formed from rivers, lakes, and floodplains during the Early Cretaceous. They stretch across much of Sussex and Kent, and are famous for dinosaur discoveries. In fact, the dinosaur Iguanodon was first discovered in Sussex in the early 19th century. So finding dinosaur footprints along this coastline is completely consistent with the geology of the area. One remarkable thing about these tracks is that they're often part of trackways, not just a single footprint, but a series of steps. In some places on this rock platform, you can see multiple tracks from the same animal, preserved as it walked across the ancient mud, each step frozen in time. And yet these footprints won't last forever. Now that the rock layer is exposed, the sea, weather, and tidal erosion will slowly wear them away again. The same forces that revealed them will eventually erase them. But along this coast, erosion is also constantly uncovering new fossil surfaces. So while some tracks disappear, others may appear. If you want to learn more about the dinosaurs that once lived here, Bexhill has its own connection to that prehistoric past. At the Bexhill Museum, there's a gallery dedicated to the dinosaur era, showcasing fossils and discoveries from the local Wealden rocks, a reminder that the quiet beaches of Sussex were once home to dinosaurs, and sometimes all that remains of that world is a single footprint in the rock.